Hi all, and welcome back to the boat, or the channel, whichever you like. We are back to doing jobs because the weather's not amazing again. But I figured also you're bored of me just, going out on the boat for a couple of hours and showing you a video of it. So we're going to do some jobs. Now, I fitted the TV last time you guys saw. Now obviously I've got the TV and the pimp lights running from 240 on little wall warts at the moment. So we're going to change that. I've got some little simple push lock splitters, and then these are some little 12 volt kind of adapter ends, and we're going to wire it all up so that what we're going to end up having is a couple of little 12 volt interfaces in here, and then cables coming out to the two of them that can be plug and played, removed. And we're going to run those cables up through the back of the wardrobe, up here, behind here, and we're going to tap into the power feeds behind the stereo. So when I fitted the new stereo, the Fusion stereo doesn't need a permanent live and an ignition live like the old car stereo did that was in it. So I wired it to a permanent live and left its ignition live, its switch live, loose. Well, it's in the block but not in use. And the switch live is connected to this switch here, this hi-fi shaver switch. So here's the plan. I'm going to take the switch live from the back of there, split it off, bring it down with one of those connectors, give me two 12 volt feeds there. I'm going to tap the 12 volt negative from the back of the stereo and run them all down the same. I'm also going to fix the aerial, because the aerial connection for the TV is down the back of there for the Glomex aerial. So we'll fix all that whilst we're in the back of there. And because last time we went out it was a lot rougher than it looked on video, the stereo's come loose, because again the Fusion stereo doesn't have a cage like a car stereo does. It just has this black plastic ring that needs to stick on, but the actual hole is slightly bigger. I'll show you more in detail once I've got everything apart, but basically I need to take that off, clean it with silicone and re-silicone it. So that's kind of the wiring for here, and that's my initial thing. I've then got a new set of speakers. I like Pioneer, but the old speakers that are up there, they are old Sony Explode. They've been in there a while. Here is one I made earlier, and as you can see it's a bit rusty, a bit corroded, and I don't know if the mic will pick this up, but when you push that it grates, when you push the cone it grates, so I'm fairly sure at some point the banging has knocked the cone against the coil, and yeah, they're knackered. Anyway, so replace the speakers with those, and then the final thing in here that I'm going to do is, the speakers in the TV are crap, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap, it's got a SP diff connector on the back, and I think it's also got phono connectors, and I'll bring those out. I'm going to run those to some phono connectors on the wall as well, but I haven't bought, but I can run the wire in, and then I put that into the aux in on the stereo, so I can put it into the aux in. And then that means that I can segment to this forward zone, the cabin zone, with these two speakers, and when I've got the TV on I can use the speakers from the stereo rather than speakers from the TV. And then I can disconnect the speakers from the TV because they're terrible. So that's the inside cabin stuff. The next thing we're going to go and do is, and I've already started up here, is these lights. So it's in the arch, as you can see. They are switched on the switchboard that I just showed you down there. The problem is that if you're up here and you want to, say I'm here at night, I want to go out off the boat, I have to leave those lights on, because there's no switch up on the deck. I have to go down and then I'm in the dark, which means locking up and everything and whatnot at night is actually quite difficult because you can't see shit, or you end up leaving the lights on. So I have bought, wherever I put it, a very cool little waterproof metal momentary switch, or latching switch, sorry, not momentary. And you'll not be able to see it, but it actually lights up, hence why so many wires, because there's a load of different connections as to how it lights up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it there. I'll put it there in between those two. So if you're on the table you can just reach up and grab it. I can reach over from the driver's seat to it, And as you come in through the back door, it's just a reach to there to do it, and it'll be lit up. So I'm going to put it on permanent light, so it'll be lit all the time whenever the arch lights are powered. But it will just allow us to turn the lights on and off from up here. So what I've done is I've already brought this first panel out with the first LED that was retrofitted before, and you can see someone's used horrible Scotch locks, or that might be what the factory used. But we've got the purple and yellow is my live, and the black is the negative, and they're wired in parallel, so we don't break the live to go in and then come straight back out. We tap off. So all I have to do is just pull the purple out of this bundle, follow the purple up, pull the purple out of the bundle here, cut it, and run a live through to the switch and live back, and I'll just switch the live rather than anything else, and then yeah, return it back to here, return it back into this bundle. So I come out of the bundle, go to the switch, return back to the bundle, and then that will turn all this on and off. So yeah, it's going to be a bit rat's nesty, because the switch requires 5 connections. So we have our switched permanent, we have our switch live and neutral, so that's the normal stuff. But then these 3 are for controlling the colours, not the colours, when it lights up. So you can have it so that it's permanently lit. You can have it so that it's lit when it's off and off when it's pressed, the light that is. Or you can have it so that it's off when it's not pressed and then lit when it's pressed. Or you can have it so that it's always off. And I want it so that it's always lit, which means that I need to bridge the red and the yellow balls. Yeah, I need to bridge the red and the yellow to give me a permanent live to the light channel, which is the yellow, and then I need to bridge the green and the black to give me the permanent neutral. So it's fine, I can do that. I've got some connectors. So yeah, so that's my job today. Light switch, which I've already started, I'm going to do that first, and then crawling around under there, and then if I get all of that done, I need to fix the exhaust pipe on the heater. So I'm not going to video all of it, but what I will do is at different stages I'll just catch you all up, show you what I'm doing so you can see it all. But yeah, apart from that, I'll catch up with you all in a bit. So here we go, cut my lights. Now no going back, so that's my purple stripped and ready. And the purple is going to bridge to these 2, black and yellow. So purple goes to there. My white goes into the black chain, and then my red, sorry, goes into the black chain, and the white goes up the other end of the purple out to the device, so which is the lights. So yeah, it's all cut now, it's all hanging down, and all the wires do. My little loop for the switch is done, so I'm just going to get that wired up now, and we'll give it a test before I drill a hole and make things permanent. So be back shortly, hopefully with working lights. So moment of truth, the wiring is done. We have our tapped feeds, I have our button on, it's not lit at the moment. I have 1 light still connected, just in case it blows everything, so I don't damage those 2. So we're going to leave that there. We're going to quickly go down here into the abyss and flick our deck lights on. Well, no break so far, not shorting out at least, so that's good. And as expected, that deck light isn't on because the switch isn't on, so we're good so far. Our switch is lit, not electrocuting myself. There's no shorts, so if I push this, that deck light should come on. Huh. And my button stayed lit. On, off, on, off. Well, would you look at that? I actually know what I'm doing. Who would have thought it? So, job number 1 done. Light switch. I'm just going to fit it and tidy everything up now, and yeah, we're all good. See you in a bit. Right, so welcome back everyone. done my lights on my arch, as you've probably seen by now. Stopped and had a little bit of lunch, and now it's time to start doing all the stuff in the cabin in here. So I've started by removing the stereo, and I've removed the surround, and I need to clean this silicone up so that we can put some new stuff down. This is the surround that had come loose, so I'm just going to do that. So the next things we've got to do is, this is the aerial for the TV, and this is a little tiny booster that takes its tap feeds off the switch live for the hi-fi shaver. So as you can see, it's only got the one wire. This one goes to the TV, this one goes to nowhere. So I've got to rummage around in there, which is easier said than done, to find out where it is. Now I'll give you an idea of how much easier said than done. That's as far as my arm goes in, so I can only just get my hand in. It's going to be tight. So I've got to fish it out, tie it up to there. That will give me my aerial for the TV, so I don't need to keep using a little portable one. It can use the big one on the roof. The next thing I want to do is move that. That's a radio aerial. Next thing I want to do is that these are the speaker connectors, and whoever fitted the stereo decided that they'd run it in house wire, even though the speaker wire running through the boat, they retapped it and rewired it into house wire rather than speaker wire. So the new speakers come with some wire, so what I'm going to do is identify which two of these, which I believe is these two here. So these are the two that go to the two cabin speakers. So I'm going to tie the new wires to the end of there and pull on that, and it should hopefully pull the wire through. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully that's what happens. That'll give me new speaker wire. Then I'm going to get my new speakers fitted, and then after I've got the speakers fitted and they're tested and working, and I've sorted the aerial, then I'm going to work on the power rat's nest back there. So for now, I'm just going to crack on with this and get these speakers fitted and that TV aerial sorted, and then we'll be back to look at the next stages. So I'll see you all shortly. So I've been digging around. I can't find the other aerial side for this. It was obviously there at some point, and I've seen it further in the boat up here. So what I'm going to have to do is get in the cupboard underneath there, try and get up and see it, or maybe reach behind this power panel, see if I can see it behind there and pull it through. But it's obviously vanished off back up into the bulkhead, so I'm going to have to fish that out. That's going to be fun. But I've taken the speakers out, and interestingly, so this speaker hole on the starboard side has foam insulation inside it and padding around all this top bit up here. This side has absolutely nothing. So yeah, sea line build quality 20 years ago. Only put insulation and sound deadening on half the boat, not the other half. If anyone knows why, feel free to let me know, because I can't see any rhyme or reason to it. The other thing is, I can't pull these speaker cables out and run proper ones in, because somehow they come up here and then bugger off that way and then come back in a bundle that's under there and come to the front. So for some reason the front speakers go all the way to the back of the boat and then forwards. Your guess is as good as mine, but I'm not chasing all of that wire around, so it can just stick on that household wire. It's not very good, but it's better than note. So yeah, new speakers fit in now, and wire those up, make sure they work, give it a quick test, then try and chase this aerial out. Once that's done and I can test that and the aerial works, then power. So I'll see you all shortly. Right, bye. So there we go. That's our new Pioneer speakers fitted straight in. Just had to enlarge the screw holes, but we've got matching black screws now, and so they actually look nice and neat. And if we come to the stereo, so we're only going to increase the cockpit sound, which is with cabin sound, sorry, which is here. 1,000 times better than the old Sony ones, which were farted and distorting and sounding crap. And just to check that I've not broken anything, that's the cockpit ones. Oh, that's both. So yeah, there we go. New speakers. Done. Right, next. Trace this aerial down so we can sort the TV out. So I've just got to find the other end of that now, somewhere in the in the boat, in the skins. I'm not going to video any of this because it's going to involve me swearing a lot and squeezing into very small spaces. So yeah, once I've found that aerial and fed it back up, I'll give you guys a shout and I'll show you what I'm doing. So see you shortly. So this escalated quickly. I'm giving up trying to find the aerial, so I took the main electricity panel off, and it is actually down there. 2 seconds, let me just grab a torch. So in that bundle you can see 2 white wires, just kind of straight there up against the hull. One of those is the antenna, which is going to the stereo for radio, and the other one is the TV aerial, which should come to there, and it is somewhere down there, but I will be damned if I can find where. So I need someone much smaller than me to get into the cavity behind this corner. It's about 12 by 12 inch. I just don't fit, so I need someone smaller to get into there, so that they can reach up to there to try and find the wire and chase it through and pass it up and out so I can then tie it in. Long story short, basically, I'm going to be living with the portable aerial for now and its intermittentness. So the next thing I want to do is get 2 12-volt feeds into this corner for my pimp lights and my TV, so I'm not using up my 2 power plugs. So I've got my power coming in for the stereo. That's my earth, and that's my switched live, which is switched off the hi-fi stereo switch, which is perfect. It's already been used to power that, so I'm just going to tap those run 2 wires up. So I've had to take this panel off. This is my wiper motor, so this panel's come off, and I can thread the wires through there. This is the existing TV aerial, which is there. And what they've done is they've actually threaded it through the top, so I might follow the same route, just thread it through behind here, or maybe behind there if I can get through, thread it out. Now what I don't want to do is I don't want to do what they've done with this aerial and just have it loose like this. What I really want to do is get it behind this. This is just foam, and it's basically a seat cushion that's wedged in. I don't know, don't ask. Let me grab that torch again. So what I want to do is I want to somehow get the wire from up there, because it'll come in through this corner here and it'll come out near that black wire up there, so I can thread it around here, because this is actually, you can get your hands in here, so I can thread it. I don't know if you can see there, but my fingers actually fit all the way in, so you can thread it all the way in. I could thread it round, but then my problem is getting it around that corner, because this shelf actually goes back further than this cushion, and you can't get your hands behind the back of the shelf. So I tried to take the shelf out, but I can't get that screw out or that screw out, so the shelf's a no-go. So right now we're trying to work out how I get power wires through from there down into here, into this cavity, where I can then put the splitter. Now this white wire here, this one going up, is the one that actually goes through to the plug. So there's a little bit of fiberglass just underneath the plug, just there. So I can drill in and put the 2 things there. And then the problem is, yeah, this is long-winded, but stick with me. So the problem is then, I cannot get round the back of there. So I need somehow to get the wires round and pulled through and chase, so I can then put the tap on to split one wire into 2.
but I'm very reluctant to drill the fiberglass because it's very permanent until I know I can get behind. And obviously these need a nut on the back to secure them, which I can't do if I can't get behind, and I can't get behind with a socket. So my other option is to drill the wood like they have up here for the aerial cable. Now obviously the aerial cable was in a ridiculous spot. It should have been fed down and brought out down here. So I can drill the wood down below the socket and it would come out somewhere here. The problem with that, yeah, just bear with me. The problem with that is that these aren't as thick as the wood. So if you might be able to see it better here on the door, look, it's not as thick as the wood. So I still can't get the retaining nut on the back, which means if I drill the wood to put those in, then I'm going to have to glue them or silicone them in place, which if I use enough I suppose is fine because it's not going to come out, but it's not ideal, and I prefer not to bodge it like that. I prefer to get a nut on the back if I can. So I'm currently trying to get my head around TV aerial, god damn it. Yeah, so I'm currently trying to get my head around how I get wires from up there, through here without doing something spazzy like this, and then through, and ideally I want them somewhere here. But yeah, so I just haven't worked out yet, and I've ended up, I've taken obviously the wiper panel off. This is from inside the cupboard. I've taken the back panel off the cupboard as well. And I think what I'm going to have to do now is take this little panel off here, this kind of a triangular shaped panel, and see if I can thread through, because if I can thread through, then I might be able to drill that small panel there and put them through there, if that's really only that thick. Because if it's only that thick, then these have got enough to bite on. So I'm just going to pop that screw out, take the curtain off, and see if I can see what I can make of that. But yeah, this escalated really quickly from what was a simple run a few wires job to dismantle half the bloody boat. Yeah, but I'll I mean, look, it's just ridiculous. Everything's hanging down. But yeah, I'll keep cracking on and I'll let you know how I get on, hopefully before it gets dark. Alright, cheers, bye. Okay, welcome back. I've settled on a route. So this speaker I've only just fitted straight back out, and what I've done is I've threaded double wires behind the foam sponge in there and out, and what I'm going to do is drill here. So these will live basically here at the bottom, and there's enough space back there, down there, for this to live in. So this will take that feed coming in to live down there, and then just have the little split offs to these like that. So all nice and simple. Bear with me, this is where it gets less simple. So now the wire comes through there, and I've pushed it and squeezed it in this crack all the way around and all the way down there, and you can just see it sticking out in that corner there. But that's fine because this strip gets re-siliconed on there, so you'll never see it. And then it goes up, all the way up into this corner here, where it comes through here. And now all I've got to do is thread it behind this bundle, follow this thick wire, because this thick wire is the aerial. It should come out above there, so you can see as I'm pulling that, wiggling that. So what I can do is I can actually thread a load of this through, tape this to it, and just pull it back through. Yeah, that'll give me it, it'll bring it out here, and then I can just tap into my Scotch lock block there, and that's my 12 volt power done. And then I just need to use a couple of these and some offcuts of wire just to create some shortened fly leads to go from the wall sockets to the actual devices, and obviously I've got a load of those there. So yeah, so almost there, and then I've just got to clean up this silicone, clean up all this silicone here, which for some reason someone used cream. The rest of it's white, this is cream, so this panel's been off before. But I'm going to clean up this silicone, take this panel, you know, clean it all up, clean up down here, get some silicone remover on it, and then I have somewhere, I literally have no idea, there's so much junk everywhere, but somewhere there is a tube of white silicone. Re-silicone that panel, put that panel back up, clean here, and then get that mounted again. I might actually Gorilla Glue that back on yet, I'm not entirely sure, because it gripped okay at the top, but it just didn't really grip at the bottom because the hole's a little bit off. But I'll clean up and I'll have a look, I'll work that out. And yeah, and so that'll be the power done. Finally, that was way harder than it needed to be, and it's taken me at least an hour to work out that routing. But yeah, that's cool. So I'm going to finish this up now, get it live, get it tested, and yeah, we should be good to go from there. So I'll be back with you all shortly. So we are getting there. I now have two 12-volt feeds coming out below the speaker, which are bridged with a bit of a rat's nest. So that's the main feeds from the switchboard. When I take my permanent live to my stereo, I'm going to tap my switch live and neutral down to the booster for the aerial, and I have another tap, because the holes aren't big enough to fit 3 wires in, to come to another block, and another block has it because I need 3 neutral connections, 2 there, 4 neutral connections, sorry, 2 there, 2 there, but I only need 1 red, but to make everything neat, and then those reds come up, plug off through there, and they come out there to power that. So speaker back in, plug the radio in, make sure that the speakers work. Once I know that the speakers work, all this stuff goes back in. Well, all that stuff can go back in before, then I can power up the radio, speaker on, and then at least I know that. And then I'm going to try and get, before I run out of light, I'm going to cut this up because this came with the telly. I'm going to cut the fag lighter end off and wire on one of these, which should give me a 12-volt feed, so at least I can get the telly running off a 12-volt feed. And then I just need to buy, actually I don't need to buy, I can probably steal a bit of this cable enough to make another one for things. So I'm going to try and do that now, but it's getting a bit late and I'm getting a bit hungry, so full speed ahead as fast as I can before I lose all my light. But yeah, it's an absolute rat's nest. This is going to take a bit of a while to clean up and tidy up, and I've got that strip to put back on in there, but when I'm done, you'll never tell that I've had basically all of this side of the boat dismantled, hopefully. So yeah, fingers crossed, and we'll be looking back like a serviceable vehicle shortly. So yeah, stay tuned. Right, moment of truth. My panel's back in. I've turned my 12-volt on. Everything's wired up. I've tested the stereo works, both speakers work. So we've got speakers and the little 12-volt dots just below it. Still not found the aerial, that's going to have to be a job for tomorrow. I've still got to tidy up and clean back and do that with the lights on. I've still got to seal under there and then seal that strip back on in there to tidy it up. Bit of sealant to get that back up, and then obviously once that's tidied, sealant around there, tidy around there, get the silicone off and seal as well. But for now, we want to test the 12-volt systems. So we've got power, there's no undue power draw, which is good because there's nothing on, so there shouldn't be anything pulling power. My water is on, so my taps work and the pump works, okay. Lights, so my lights are on, okay. My deck lights, well, they won't come on because of a switch now, but I can see, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I can see that that's on, so it's good. Yeah, so looks like we are away. The only thing left to do is to bring the 240 back on to power up the sockets and power sockets and the battery charger and everything, so I'll just quickly do that now. Magic of mobile phones. Turn on. We should see, there we go. I don't know if you can hear it, but the fridge is just fired up and we've got some charging action going on. So yeah, I think we are good. Turn my Bluetooth on. Connect to my battery charger. This is hilarious. You connect to a battery charger with Bluetooth. There you go. It is charging. Yeah, so that's working. So it's good. We are being charged. Nothing's tripped. No circuit breakers are blown. Nothing's throwing a hissy fit. So I think I've not screwed up, which is good. So now I can put my lights on. Now I can get my TV back on the wall, and just because I'm running out of time and I realise that to make those fly leads and connect to that in my soldering iron, which is at home. But yeah, I'm just going to plug everything back into the 240, and then I'm just going to quickly seal up in that cupboard. In fact, I might leave that till tomorrow, to be fair, because it stinks when I do that. But yeah, I'm going to tidy up this because I need to sleep here, and then I'm going to order pizza. So yeah, I'll be back shortly, hopefully with TV and everything working again. So see you in a bit. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's the next day. So as is always the case with boating, things take longer than intended. So yesterday I ran the wiring through and showed you how I've done that. Today I'm putting everything back together. So I've cleaned all the silicone off there with silicone remover all the way around, cleaned it all up, cleaned all the silicone around here, cleaned it all there, and cleaned this hatch. Got my trusty silicone gun, and this is the little bit that goes out the back of there. So first of all, I'm just going to throw a little bead of silicone in there just to stick that together, leave that for a minute just to set. Then I'm going to put the faceplate mount on and tape it up so it'll hold it there and give that time to dry before I put the stereo in. I've just pushed all the wires in. Then once they're done, I'm going to get this done. Now this panel had been off before previously at some point in the past, and instead of putting it back together with white silicone like the rest of the boats used, they used cream silicone. So I have white. So I make sure all the cream is off all the way around there and everything. So that's all going to be replaced with white, and this just needs a little bead running down to stick the little bit of trim back up. Doing there, and obviously my speakers and my wiring and everything is done. I can't do the actual 12-volt fly leads because I need my soldering iron, which I can't find, so I'm assuming that's at home. But yeah, so I'm just going to do that, and then that's me done for this week. Amanda from Luso, I hope I've said that right, sorry if I haven't, Yachting, just popped down. She was in the area. Don't know if you've seen, if not, go and watch her channel, I'll put a link in the description. But she just popped in while she was in the area, and we just had a little catch up and a chat about bigger boats and, well, just boats in general, I guess. But very nice lady, very good channel. Make sure you go and have a watch of that. And if you like boats, she also gives away 3 weekends away on her expense. You've just got to get out to the boat. So yeah, well worth going and checking her out if you haven't already. But yeah, so I'm just going to finish up here, and I'll show you the finished result hopefully in a couple of minutes. Alright, back shortly. Bye bye. Just like to take a quick moment to recognise the build quality here. So I've put this little panel back up, and look at that for a gap that tapers off. And around there, look, we've got another massive gap and a chunk missing. And then look at that, you can fit your fingers in there. It's huge. No wonder there was such a blob of silicone in there. So I'm going to try and tidy that up and make it look a lot less horrible. we'll be back shortly to see how good a job I do. Hi everyone, so we're just about done tidying up. The fusion head unit is rebonded in, it's re-siliconed in, and what I did was I actually stuck a bit of wood to make the problem is the gap was too wide, so I stuck a bit of wood on the back, which gives me something that I can now screw through into to hold it in place. So that's now on and drying. I'm not putting the head unit back now because the silicon isn't quite dry. It's only been up an hour yet, so it's going to take a while to dry. The panel is up and the silicon actually matches. It's white all the way around now. Unfortunately, it's not my best silicon job ever, so I'm going to have to go around with a knife just to tidy up some of these stragglers. It's a really weird shape, so I struggled to mask off, and because some of these gaps were so huge, so I've just had to smear loads in, and I will tidy it up later. But you can't see, but the strip of wood is back in at the back now. You can just see it there. So that's all in and siliconed, and yeah, drying, and all the wires are done there. We're in leaving it mode, so TV's mounted back, everything's done. Mess is made. I don't know why, but every time I come in I seem to make more mess than I fix. So the last thing I'm going to do before I leave is I'm just going to check the bilges and vacuum that one out, because I think it's got a bit of water in. It smells a little bit like there's a bit of water in there anyway. So apart from that, it is now the end of September and it is still a glorious day, and if it wasn't for the wind it would have been a lovely day to go out as well. But jobs to do and all to finish, so just going to finish it there. Say thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my ramblings and fiddlings with wire again. If you enjoy the videos, yeah, feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and if you have any questions or you want to ask me anything, you know, don't be afraid to ask me. I'll try and answer anything I can. I'm no expert, but I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.